He built an empire on secrets. He remembered everything like it had happened yesterday, every detail replaying with brutal clarity. The boardroom silence, the sharp scratch of the pen against paper, the moment he chose strategy over mercy and sealed someone else's fate. But the one that haunted him most had a name. Adrian stood at the edge of his penthouse office, the city glittering beneath him like a living thing that never slept. His hands rested against the cool glass, fingers spread, as if he needed the building itself to hold him up. The skyline should have felt powerful. Instead, it felt distant, hollow.
I love you.
His reflection stared back at him, calm, controlled, untouchable. But his jaw was tight, his shoulders locked, his breath measured like he was holding something down. The memory came anyway, not gently, not slowly. It hit him like it had happened yesterday. The contracts, the lawyers, the boardroom silence before signatures, the quiet nod he gave, the moment he chose strategy over mercy, the moment he destroyed a man who trusted him, the moment he unknowingly shattered the foundation of the woman he would one day love more than anything. His chest tightened, a slow pressure that did not release. His fingers curled against the glass, knuckles whitening. His gaze dropped for a fraction of a second, like his body bowed under the weight before his pride could stop it. What do you do when you did something you regret, but it cannot be undone? The question echoed in his mind, not as a thought, but as a confession he had never spoken. His lips parted slightly, but no words came. He had built his life on never looking back. Now, looking back was all he could do, and it hurt in a quiet, dangerous way. It was a rainy afternoon. Adrian Castellano's shoes slushed through water on the pavement as he rushed toward the glass doors of Castellano Industries. Inside, everything was cold perfection. Marble floors, modern lighting, that clean scent of money and control. Lucas was already at his desk, coffee in the air, leather and cologne mixing in the atmosphere like the building itself had a signature scent. Lucas looked up immediately. "Good morning, boss." Adrian didn't slow down. "Morning." Lucas watched him like he always did. 10 years working together, and Adrian still moved like a machine.
Your coffee, sir.
No wasted steps, no wasted emotion.
Of course.
Adrian walked into his office and stopped. Fresh coffee, pastries, set perfectly on the desk. Lucas followed him in, leaning against the doorway. "I figured you'd skip breakfast. Again." Adrian glanced at the tray. "You figured right." Lucas smirked. "You are not human." Adrian sat down, opened his laptop, and immediately started sorting through emails like sleep was a myth and feelings were illegal. His fingers tapped the keys, vendors, clients, numbers, /B testing reports, product launch graphs, pressure points. Then his phone buzzed. Lucas's name. Adrian answered immediately. "Yeah." Lucas's tone changed. "Boss, your father is here." Adrian's hand froze for half a second. His father never came here. Adrian leaned back. "Giovanni?" "Yes." Adrian exhaled slowly. "Send him in." Lucas hesitated. "You want me to stay?" Adrian's eyes flicked up, calm and cold. "No." Lucas nodded and stepped away. Adrian stood as the door opened. Giovanni Castellano walked in like the building belonged to him too. 60 years old, thick silver hair, impeccable suit, the kind of authority you could not fake. Adrian forced the word out. "Dad." Giovanni stepped forward and hugged him, firm, controlled, like even affection had rules. "My son," Giovanni said. "You look tired." Adrian pulled back. "I work." Giovanni's eyes narrowed. "You work too much." Adrian's jaw tightened. "You didn't come here to talk about my sleep schedule." Giovanni smiled slightly. "No, I came with a business proposition." Adrian sat, motioning for him to do the same. "Talk." Giovanni leaned forward. "I owe a favor." Adrian's eyes sharpened. "To who?" Giovanni paused like he already knew Adrian would not like the answer. "Mr. Miller." Adrian blinked once. Miller Industries. Giovanni nodded. Family friends. Adrian's voice was flat. They're failing. Giovanni's smile disappeared. Yes. Adrian tapped a finger on his desk. How much debt? Giovanni inhaled. Enough that he will lose everything. Adrian's eyes did not soften. That's business. Giovanni's tone hardened. No, that is family. Adrian stared at him. What are you asking me? Giovanni placed a folder on the desk. Adrian didn't touch it yet. Giovanni said it anyway. He wants you to marry his daughter. Silence. Adrian's eyebrows lifted slowly. Say what now? Giovanni's voice stayed calm. A merger, a marriage, one contract, one solution. Adrian's laugh was not amused. You came to my office to pitch me a wife. Giovanni's eyes cut through him. I came to remind you that you are not above loyalty. Adrian leaned back. This is insane. Giovanni pointed to the folder. Open it. Adrian stared at it like it was a weapon. Giovanni added quieter now. You think the company is your life. It is not. I will not be here forever. You need legacy. You need family. Adrian's mouth tightened. And you think family is something you can contract. Giovanni's voice dropped. Son, the contract is legal, the merger is clean, and Miller is drowning. Adrian's eyes narrowed. Why should I care? Giovanni leaned forward. Because I am asking you. That hit harder than anything else. Adrian's throat tightened. He hated that he could not say no to his father. Giovanni stood. Her name is Xena Miller, 30 years old, artist, brilliant, creative director, ambitious. Adrian's hand finally touched the folder. Giovanni's voice softened, almost like he was trying to sound human for once. I think you will enjoy her. Adrian opened the folder, and the moment he saw her picture, something in him went quiet. His chest tightened like the air changed. Giovanni noticed. He always noticed. Giovanni nodded once like he was sealing a deal. I'll let you think. As Giovanni walked out, Adrian stared at the photograph. He whispered without meaning to, "Who are you?" And somewhere deep inside him, a dangerous thought formed. I want her. Hook and Foreshadow Adrian did not know yet that this folder was not an introduction. It was a confession, and the cost of what he was about to do would not be paid in money. It would be paid in hearts. Cliffhanger. Adrian picked up his phone and made one call. Lucas, he said, I need everything. 6 months into the marriage, Xena knew exactly why Adrian was called the Ice King. The man had impeccable self-control. There were moments they would be kissing, and 10 minutes later, he would reach for his brown liquid and down it in one go. He would kiss her cheek, then whisper in accented Italian, Mio amore. I have to make a call. Every time. Xena would stare at him like, are you serious? Xena didn't know he was doing it on purpose. He wanted her to want him. He wanted her. But guilt would not let him touch her beyond kisses. One morning, light streamed through the doorway. Xena squinted. Adrian stood there, tall, silent, dominating the space without trying. He stared at her with eyes full of want and sadness. He drank whiskey, at this time in the morning. Xena's mind whispered, why are you drinking whiskey at 7 a.m.? Adrian said nothing. He downed it in one go, then walked away. Xena sat up, pulling the satin sheets over her legs. The ruffle of fabric comforted her a little. Her heart still pounded. She whispered to herself, who is Adrian Castellano? His mind slowly pulled back to the present, and he stared through the glass at the hustle and bustle of Miami's city traffic, the city pulsing with life while something heavy settled in his chest. Adrian forced his attention back to work, letting the rhythm of office life pull him out of his thoughts. Spreadsheets glowed across his monitors, columns of projections and acquisitions, numbers that once felt like power and now felt like noise. Emails stacked, meetings waited. Clients and vendors filled his calendar, each demanding a version of him that felt detached and composed. He adjusted his cuff, rolled his shoulders once, and leaned forward, fingers moving across the keyboard with quiet precision. This was familiar, safe, control in its purest form. A soft knock interrupted the silence. Luca stepped inside, carrying a neatly packed tray and a paper bag from one of Adrian's favorite private kitchens. He set it down on the desk without ceremony, like this was routine. "You forgot to eat. Again," Luca said, his tone calm but pointed. Adrian barely looked up at first, then sighed under his breath, the tension in his shoulders loosening just a little. His stomach reminded him that it had been empty for hours. "Thank you, Luca," he said quietly, closing the laptop halfway. "I am famished." Luca's gaze lingered for a moment, reading him the way only someone close could. "You've been in here since dawn." Adrian picked up the fork, but his eyes flicked back toward the window for half a second, like the city was still pulling at him. When Adrian left for work at 7:30 sharp, Xena waited an hour, then explored. She entered the library and froze. Books in English, Italian, French, Spanish. Xena whispered, "4 languages. Okay, Mr. Ice King." One book caught her eye, old leather cover, art history. She ran her fingers over it and got hit with memories of college, art school, mock-ups, clients, her career. She missed working. She missed being Xena Miller, not just Mrs. Castellano. Then she noticed something, a flash of light behind the book. Xena leaned in, a camera. Her stomach dropped. "I'm being watched," she whispered. She put the book back slowly, pretending she didn't see it. But in her mind, the puzzle piece clicked into place. Days later, Xena found the basement door. Metal, high-level security. Xena stared at it like it was laughing at her. She walked closer, and like magic, Matteo appeared. Head of security, glasses, no smile, stone face. "Mrs. Castellano," Matteo said. "I do apologize. Mr. Castellano says this area is off limits." Xena blinked. "Matteo, I just want to go to a cafe. I'm not a hostage." Matteo didn't react. Xena tried anyway, smiling sweet. "Matteo, you are really handsome when you're doing too much." Matteo stared like she was a fly. Xena's mind immediately went, hater, snitch, both. Matteo adjusted his glasses. "Please go back upstairs, ma'am." Xena folded her arms and rolled her eyes. In her head, "I bet he is talking to Adrian right now." She walked away, defeated, but not done. Xena was learning something dangerous. The penthouse was not just protected, it was monitored, and the basement door was not just locked. It was guarded like it held a truth that could destroy a marriage. Xena promised herself one thing. She would get inside that basement, even if she had to run. You've come to the end of part 2 of Married to a Billionaire. Thank you so much for watching until the end. But this is not the end of the story. This is just the beginning. Make sure you subscribe, comment below, and stay tuned for what's next. I worked really hard on each episode, and I'm working every single day to make this series better for my audience and for my new family here. If you're already a subscriber, you're family. If you're not, don't just be a watcher. Subscribe and join the family. If you're new here, make sure you check out part 1 before watching this episode. If you're watching out of order, go ahead and watch part 1, then come back to part 2 if you like things in order. The link is in the bio and in the comments. Now I want to hear from you. Where do you think this story is going? What secrets do you think Adrian is hiding? And would you marry someone like Adrian if you were in Xena's shoes? Comment below and tell me what you want to see in the next episodes. Let me know what you loved and what you didn't love. Your feedback really matters to me. This story is for you, and we're building it together. I love you, my beautiful family. Sincerely, Miss Gina Love Stories. And I will see you in the next episode. And what's locked in Adrian's basement may change everything she believes about him. Don't forget to comment where you're watching from and the time. I love seeing how far this story has reached. As they say in Italian, ciao, mia bellissima famiglia, it means in English, bye, my beautiful family.
Entra nella mia famiglia. Il tuo posto è con noi.
Sì, il mio posto è con te.